The more grounded we are, the higher we fly. When we think of grounding, we should think of as above, so below, or as a tree grows tall, as its roots are deep. It can be helpful to differentiate between positive and negative grounding, and obviously, negatively does not mean bad. People will often ground themselves in a negative way, cutting themselves off from their higher self and the higher dimensional energies that make up the self, becoming and feeling very separate, and then acting as a closed system, living from their life experience and knowledge of their separate self alone. So not in empathic or telepathic communication with others, and not listening to their higher selves, their soul. When grounded in a positive way, we know who we are beyond our body. We feel our values and understand our subconscious mind, so we are not confused or overwhelmed by the information and energy of others. Basically, we don't lose ourselves. When grounded in a positive way, we are able to draw higher vibrational energies in and ground them to earth, ground them into our reality. Thus, our reality and our personal vibration changes and transforms. When we can ground ourselves in a positive way, we can hold space for others and support them in learning to do the same. Being grounded positively takes work, and in doing the personal development work, we might need to ground ourselves negatively to get there. Grounding ourselves negatively may be essential in our learning, and people who are highly ungrounded often need grounding negatively to find the balance that they wish to grow from. I don't always ground clients after sessions, as sometimes it's nice to be high, but in your personal practice and life, how much you focus on grounding is your choice. Often what stops people being grounded is too much fear in their body, too little joy in their day-to-day life, and not enough depth in how they experience time pass by. When people are very ungrounded, they don't have such a good sense of consensus reality. They are living too much in 5D, fifth dimensional reality, or pretending to be. So much that others cannot understand or relate to them. They don't often have a positive impact on the world or other people, as they are too disconnected from consensus reality. It's hard to rely on ungrounded people, so they don't gain much trust, and often they may struggle to make money as the majority cannot relate to or understand them. Grounding exercises are many, with the most obvious ones being to walk barefoot on the earth, hug trees, and eat food, cooked vegan food with lots of root vegetables, maybe bread, oil. The aim is to feel full and satisfied without doing harm or consuming too much sugar or other stimulants that would make you high. Being around children, animals, and elderly people can be grounding too. Certain smells and colours may work for some people, sounds for others. Most things that relax us can help us ground. Orgasm and ejaculation can also be very grounding, depending how they are attained. Although tantric sex and conscious lovemaking is likely to make you high, thus good grounding is needed before these practices. A long time ago, up until the 1920s, the medical cure for hysteria in women, hysteria is a very ungrounded neurotic state, was to have an orgasm, and doctors would literally give female patients a yoni massage as the cure for hysteria, as the female peak orgasm can be grounding, curing hysteria. The female vibrator was originally designed as a medical device to lower case numbers and free up doctors' time. Like everything, it is a journey, and our mental programming plays a large factor. Our answers might keep changing, and that's good, because it means we are alive and moving with the ever-changing tides of life. Simply coming back to our lower 3 energy centers during mundane tasks, just focusing on our root, our sacral and solar plexus, putting our hand on this area while taking a few relaxing breaths as we soften and relax our gut and navel, will teach our body to live in a more grounded way. focusing on our 3 lower energy centers while eating, spending time with children, the elderly and animals, and focusing on our 3 lower energy centers with long, deep breaths when in nature, in conversations, or learning anything new or listening to music, and also when having sex or self-pleasuring will give our life more depth and meaning. And once we can feel depth and meaning in our bodies, then grounding becomes joy. If you really need an exercise, then guided grounding meditations can help. But for people who really need grounding, it's about working with the mind, body, and emotions at the same time through activity. Breathing out through our mouth all the way out slowly will support us in grounding in a more negative way, which in this moment would be a good thing. When you breathe out with the de-armoring breath, you release electricity from your nervous system so your whole body operates at a more relaxed pace. Once we have good grounding, then it becomes easier to work with our root chakra and also our chakras, energy centers deep in the earth, as these grounding exercises are the ones that expand us, furthering our body's readiness for Kundalini energy to flow through us. We cover practices like these in advanced trainings, but for now, simply working on living our life in a grounding way and using Kundalini bodywork self-practice sessions to create more balance will give you the best chance and information to create an energetic body that is both grounded and high. Before a session, it's always helpful to simply ground ourselves by standing with our feet on the floor or sitting, taking 10 or 20 breaths, imagining roots going down into the earth, and the deeper our roots grow down, the taller we grow up at the exact same time. We can do this together now, standing or seated on a chair, but walking barefoot on earth, hugging trees, eating grounding foods, playing with children and animals, talking with elderly, and connecting with other people while being mindful of our breath are all more powerful ways to stay grounded in daily life. Okay, so if we put our feet flat on the floor and then find a way to erect our spine, standing or seating, and just close our eyes and find this long, deep, transformative breath. So you can add the slight Ujjayi breath. You might even pump your pelvic floor 1 or 2 times. Doesn't really matter as long as you're enjoying the breath and it's deep. And now as you breathe out, imagine you're breathing out down through your perineum, out your root, down your legs, down your feet, into the earth, as deep into the earth as you can go with the out breath. And as you breathe up as high as you can, breathing up out the top of your head as high as you can on the in-breath. And now breathe out on the out-breath very slowly. Use the Ujjayi transformative breath in and out through the nose to breathe all the way down, deep as you can into the earth. Rising on the inhale, out of the head. Noticing the higher we go, the lower we go, the more grounded we are, the higher we are. And then when this feels good, when you've expanded your breath as high as you can and as low as you can, for as long as you can breathe, see these 2 energies meet in the heart, meet in the center of your being, keeping your grounding, keeping your highness, and see how far you can expand out through your heart. So grounding makes you high, and grounding keeps you in your heart.